brought to you by Two Brothers, One Vision.
Hello friends and family, Wowie here, and today it's warm. You can see I still got my overalls, but I got no shirt and they're rolled up looking like a moron, but I don't care. They're comfortable and I love them. But yeah, it's hot today on Vancouver Island, and today is going to be something a little bit different. I'm going to show you around a wee looking Wowwy'z World. I'm going to show you around my yard, in my creation station where I work and do most of the carving, and it's just going to be a little bit of a tour and a look into my life, because it's just a beautiful day and I want to share it with y'all. I'm going to switch cameras over now. You can see my little fountain back there. This is what we call the fairy garden. Hope you guys can hear me. My wife does a really great job with all the flowers. Here's our blanket and stuff. We've been sitting outside today. This is a little tour of our yard. You can see it's a very whimsical place. That's probably my favorite right there. That's an ode to the antler crowns that we make. This planter here with succulents, I love that. Real deer antlers. Foundling off the forest floor. There's our chives. But when we moved here, this back fence, it's falling down and going to be replaced. So we hung shelves on it. Like a shelf is, or a fence rather, is just a blank slate. So we hung all sorts of shelves on it. And we got our funny little things, stuff that my wife and I like. Toys. And this here, sorry, this is a little, we have out here in Vancouver Island in Canada, we have free libraries, and this was one that my father-in-law made. Take a book, leave a book, but the post rotted and it fell over recently, so we got it in the backyard here while we figure out if we're gonna make a four-legged stand for it, and then it'll distribute the weight better of all the books. But here's more shelves and whimsical little things. And this here, this is an African lilac. It just had its really beautiful blue flowers, but there's hummingbird nests in there, so we call it the hummingbird tree. And in the hummingbird tree is full of lanterns, chimes, and bells. Now this is where I do most of my meditation. I'll sit and I'll do Om and I'll chant, and I'll sit underneath this tree, and it's kind of like my little safe spot. And the thing with the lanterns is, both my brother and I have a real thing about lanterns and lighthouses, and you may be familiar with a term that we've kind of made our own, and it's called Be a Lighthouse. You'll see me hashtag it and stuff. And what we mean by that is that every one of us has the potential to be a lighthouse in this world. A light giver, a safety light in the storm for others. And when I say be a lighthouse, you know, I'm not blowing smoke up my own butt. I'm just saying every one of us can do this, and all it takes is being empathetic and kind in this world, showing your love to people. That's what being a lighthouse is. And over here is kind of not the nicest looking part of our yard, but it's my little wood stash. So underneath that tarp there, it's got all my special wood, and so I'll use this old cat thing here and and I'll set up my tools and I'll work here. Another lantern, and then we keep going here. Another part of our garden, and here is my ET bird bath. love ET. I've always believed that the universe is teeming with life, and so ET is a symbol of that. You just wait, guys. Things are just getting interesting with what's been in the news and stuff. You just wait what's coming. And here's our little outdoor sitting area. Of course, we got the Star Wars cushions, Totoro, Studio Ghibli, we love, and Star Wars. And of course, the Buddha, peace, inner peace. And here we have, well, I got gimbals for filming, and this here is a succulent planter I made out of an arbutus piece of driftwood. I actually won one of the Dremel Maker Studio challenges with that piece. There's the birdhouse by Jordy Johnson, made especially for my wife Katie. There's the chimney with the spirit, little hoot owl. Yeah, we love that piece. It's always going to be in our yard. And then this is my very first chainsaw project that Jordy helped me with. He did most of it. I did the details later. We did that back here in the yard the very first time he came and met me here on the island. So I'm very special to me. And over here, when I turned 40, my wife got me this soft tub, hot tub for my back pain. There's the little fountain back there. It's always trickling. It's beautiful. But yeah, I use it when I can. I need chemicals right now for it, but I love her dearly for doing that for me. And it does help to have a good soak. And here, folks, is my little shed, and this is what I call my creation station. Now, because of my bad back, I don't sit and carve, I stand. That's my little stumps, my stump step that I've always used, because my carving box for the dust collector raised the height of everything, so I needed a little bit height, even though I'm 6'1". So I have a dust collector right here, and this is one of these Canadian Tire. We have Canadian Tire up here, but it's just a workmake bench, and then they have the peg holes in the back for the hooks. But what I did is, because I stand, so they always have one of these bottom levels. So I keep my orbital sander, my drill there. I have a little shop back. It's really, really powerful, but it's a small, compact size, so that sits there. And then that's the bag for the dust collector. So the dust collector, the tube goes up behind, and I have it attached to a cyclone, a Juanita 4-inch cyclone. And that is attached to my carving box with all my stickers on it. Now, I'm working on something that's been kept secret, so I just covered it there, and it'll be revealed soon. But up here, these are magnetic strips you can get for tools, and so I just put that on here because it was this metal header with a light underneath, and then I just keep my burrs right there. That's my noise canceling headphones. So I just keep my burrs right there for quick change. Hey Chris, there you are with one of your original stickers. Now here's where I keep all my hand pieces. I made that out of an old antique piece of pine, and they just sit there and they're always ready to go. And there's where I hang I just have one of these big hooks from the wall that I hang my machines from. This here is my one-of-a-kind Peter Blair sanding machine. This is my rock when it comes to sanding, and it's attached to a flex shaft, and it's amazing. Down here, I have my antique brush for the carvings. This is an old soldering gun stand that I use for my pencils. This is my Fordham burr holder that you get with the Fordham kit. Then here is my ram power that I bought off Jordy, micro carver. So that's right there on my, and I'm right-handed, so it's all there on my right-hand side. I carve here. Now up above, I have these cubby shelves on either side, matching ones for the same height, and then I turn that into a shelf. That keeps all my glues and everything up there, my aniline dyes. And then here I use some PVC pipe, cut it up, made little cubbies, and that's where I keep all my razor tip wood burning pens. My wood burner is right up here on this little shelf. Look at this old eagle head wood spirit, a really older piece from Jordy. And then I call this the poop wood spirit. Kind of looks like a piece of poop, some kind of crazy piece of driftwood, but you can see he's a wood spirit with his mouth wide open, but it's really abstract. And then I have a love for Christmas lights. They make me feel safe. They make me feel homey. That's a piece that's been in the make for a long time. It's a collaboration piece. It's gonna have a huge copper leaf up above for my brother. And again, just some shelves. You're always gonna find crazy art that me and Darren are working on. Look at this leaf from him in spirals, driftwood, shells all wrapped in with copper and keys. We're all about the antique keys. You can see them hanging back there. And then, you know, burls. I really love machinist chests with the drawers. But yeah, this I'm due for a real cleanup of everything and dusting everything, and it's just a tiny little shed, but everything that is important to me is in here for my carving. There I got a workbench. This is where I keep my chisels and my chainsaw tools. There's my little electric chainsaw. Here's some pieces. Projects in the make. More shelves with stuff. And that is the creation station. This here I made out of pipe fixtures. I hang my phone in there, and it's right above the sanding, the table. You see all the holes? Well, I wanted to show you guys too the back of the door here. You see these Mastercraft things? They're magnetic shelves, and my door was metal. So I grabbed they had various sizes in a package, so I got 3 of them. So I'm standing here, I have everything on my right hand side, and then right over here, I got from my quick change in the burrs, and I got my cuts all, and then right here is a special spot for my good phone, a little mirror. Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas poster, because that's one of my top favorite movies. More lights. Pruning saw, crazy billboard with a bunch of stuff, Wowwy stuff on there. And then this poster that's really special to me. This lonely guy sitting under this tree at this picnic table, and it says, "Someone's want some." And that just always rang very meaningful to me, that poster. And then I have a roll of shop rags up there. And that's the back of the door. So yes, I utilize all my space. And I've created this little carving cocoon, if you will. My creation station. Poppy, say hi to the YouTube world. Say hi to all your fans. So yeah, we have a little place. It's a little townhouse, just 1,000 square feet total. But it came with this little yard. You know, we have, neighbors and units and complexes all around us here. And actually a big new one is going back here, 4 stories up, so it's going to be taking some of our skyline away. But that's the way of the world right now. But it came with this little yard and this little piece of property, and it's our oasis. It's our paradise here. We're very, very lucky. That's our little townhouse, our little shed. So that's about it, folks. I'm not going to do the whole tour of the whole house. Well, let's just have a little walk through here. I'm gonna have to mute this so we don't get copyright stricken. All right, here we are inside. Here's a light that I made for my wife. We love using the antique insulators. Old ship. A ship thing for rope. Utilize that. Made Katie her own little light. This is what we call girl couch. This is Katie's side. This is boy couch. This is Wowwy's side. But most of the time Katie's on Wowwy's couch because that's a place to be. And here is some of my home collection of artwork. Beautiful, beautiful lantern handmade by my brother. All from recycled copper pipe and wire. And then these here are our art pieces, our light pieces, and our smudging ceremony kits. Very, very special, special art. I'm gonna give you a quick zoom through the kitchen so I can show you Snaggle. Here's Snaggle. Do you guys remember this guy? You would have had to watch the video of me creating him. That's Snaggle. That's what I created for Katie for our 10th anniversary. She calls him Lumpy, but I name him Snaggle. And then here is the Hall of Creation, which I've also shown in a couple videos. This is our very, very special Hall of Creation, shun. And some artwork by me and my brother. Some wands, ceremonial pieces, our antler crowns. Pieces special to us. Mr. Weirdo by Jordy Johnson. This I won from Ben's studio on the lake. Beautiful piece. I love this from I Can Carve, V.I.P. My good friend Carl, and this angel Viking piece. That's the angel. That's the old spirit. And that's the Viking. One of my most prized possessions. Here is something barely anybody's seen. This is a burl that we wrapped the handle. This took months and months. The burl was hollow and had a crack around it. So we opened it up, cleaned it out, wove it back together, but wove it back together full of bells. You see, we're gonna do some things with feathers. We hung some copper bits by that, but when you shook it, It was just too violent. Things flying everywhere. So we're gonna do something with some real feathers, hang them from that. And then this will get its grand reveal. A very, very special piece by Two Brothers, One Vision. And up here, we have our very special warrior totem with his feather. I have to shine this up. It's been oxidizing, but a very, very special piece. Collaboration between my brother and myself. We're Métis Indian and very, very proud. Here is Hubert. He's got a schnoz, but he's happy just the way he is. That's Hubert the Brightheart. And then this here is basically an altar piece for my brother's copper pieces that I carved out of a piece of driftwood. And that happy guy up there, and way, way up top is a little copper nest with a shell in it. Here we have my first Bigfoot carving. Down here is my little snowball from one of Jordy's challenges. This is the gnome home, all one piece of wood. That's my very, very first gnome home. Sorry. This here is a fairy queen that I still haven't finished yet. I have to finish her eye. I stopped until I could get a better plan. And I'm thinking maybe a piece of shell in there, but I just haven't never finished her. Her time is coming though. Here's the wand, and then here is our mystic. You're on the rod, the shaman mystic, with this very, very special copper spiral. Up here are the antler crowns. Now this is from a whole other era of our art, but I'm going to make some special videos about creating these. Here's the quartz crystal crown. All of that woven copper. Some of these antler crowns took years to finish. See up there? This is the Dreamcatcher crown. This one's going to be worn by a male model. It has the danglers. All feathers, leaves, clock gears, keys. All the things that dreams are made of. This owl is one of my very, very early pieces. I could barely carve, but the burl itself looked a lot like this. And it was like, yeah, it looks like an owl. So I just left it mostly natural. I put some gold and copper leaf in his eyes. His shell, I'm really proud of. His beak, that's an electroformed copper seashell. He's all out of one piece of driftwood. And then Darren made a very, very special feather for him. And it's woven, that'll never come off. It's been woven on forever. That's very, very special. Here are some of my brother's metalwork. That's the dragonfly, his own design. One of his very, very special things I just love. Well, thank you guys. I'm gonna switch the camera over here quick. and say my closing remarks. Thank you for taking this tour. There is no YouTube without you, and I truly appreciate you being here. Now for the closing remarks. Thank you for taking this tour with me, guys. A little look into Wowwy'z World, and I am blessed. You know, I might sometimes speak of my depression and my chronic pain. It's part of my life, but I don't let that govern my life. I allow the blessings in my life to govern my time, the rest of the time that I have here on this planet. I'm going to spend it doing as much good as I can for other people, creating as much beautiful art as I can for this world, and just being wowy. Don't care what other people think. Just be yourself. Be yourself. You're a lighthouse. Shine. Much love.